Hi, Alyssa.
Hi, Jess.
I guess we're doing this recording here at Biota. We have a buddy system going on during coronavirus, so that we can connect to each other a little bit more and just have time to get to know each other.
So, Jess, you are entering your last year of school. What's it like for you to be going back to school right now when, everything is still sort of shut down? And how has this kind of changed with this whole COVID situation?
Yeah, back to school in the 21st grade. It's not as exciting as being back in elementary school with a new backpack. I guess one of the first major changes is just the hustle and bustle. Being living on campus, you usually see a lot of new undergrads with their new backpacks, and they're eager to be around. And you're definitely not seeing any of that. The school crowds are completely missing, of course. And so my time is just being split up in between lab and working from home on Zoom. How about yourself? How's back to school for you as a postdoc?
Yeah, well, since I don't take classes anymore, and in my current position, I don't teach any classes, it's kind of bizarre because I'm still supposed to be an academic on campus and surrounded by, as you say, the hustle and bustle of the new semester. But for me, it's been really, really quiet because campus is quiet. Because I'm a postdoc, I'm actually allowed to go in to some of the lab spaces as like my whole job right now is doing research, and can't really do a good job of research without going into the lab. And I'm allowed to go into the lab 2 days a week. So I go in on Thursdays and Fridays, and my Monday through Wednesday is working at home on Zoom and on my computer. And it gets to feel really, really monotonous. I mean, have you ever seen that movie?
Groundhog Day.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just like the same thing over and
Everybody's
over.
saying that. Everybody's saying that life feels like Groundhog Day.
Yeah, it's the
Um,
same. I mean, for months now, I've got my Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, my Thursday, Friday, and then repeat,
do you think it's
repeat.
everybody going through the moods of like, this is comforting to know what's gonna happen? Like, I go to lab on Mondays and Tuesdays right now, so it's comforting to know Mondays and Tuesdays are lab.
Yeah,
But then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I'm like, I want to wake up from this.
exactly. Yeah, so been feeling a bit of that repetitiveness for sure. And the other thing that I've noticed, I subconsciously have now taken over this idea that it's bad to see people. You're supposed to stay socially distanced. We always wear masks. Only one person allowed in the lab space at a time. But different lab spaces, you have to approach them from the hallway, or
Right.
everybody's parking in the same area and then walking in. And so I've kind of like felt like some sort of spy or secret agent. I've got my face covered. I'm like looking around. Should I enter? Like, is there anybody I'm going to run into? It's like this really weird feeling. In the past, it was like, hey, let's get coffee. Let's go here. I'd love to see you as much as possible. And now it's like, how can I possibly avoid seeing anybody else on my way around the lab spaces?
I actually feel a little bit, yes, I do avoid seeing people, but I work in the lab where we study air pollution. So we have not N95s, but we have, they're called R95s. They're like carbon masks that are like gray.
Oh,
They have the exact same function, mostly to like block like gaseous particles like smells and stuff, since we work with tobacco cigarettes. But we just have like stocks of masks, of like the paper surgical masks and the R95. So we actually are allowed to like be in the same room together, if it's deemed like necessary, or what's the term, it's essential
yeah, yeah.
tasks. So it's kind of interesting that I don't have that worry, since I feel like we're all really as protected as we could be. But I
Mhm.
feel like that's such a huge privilege to just be like, I can actually like hang out in the same room as somebody, and I look
Yeah,
forward to that. I actually look forward to the days where I go into lab.
definitely. That's cool.
How about like how, I don't want to use annoying, but how has COVID change things for you? I think for me, one of the more annoying things is that we have like an app on camp, like to check in every day on campus, whether you have symptoms or not. And then I have to forward that email to a supervisor or a manager.
Yeah.
And then I just scheduled COVID testing. I have to get it done before, some fall deadline. And I have to get a mandatory flu shot before that same deadline. So I just feel like there's all these extra paperworks and emails that I have to like keep on top of every day, on top of all the welcome back to school emails.
I mean, it's pretty much the same for me. You have to fill out that symptom screening type thing, and maybe I don't have to do as much paperwork. I might have a little bit of leeway as a postdoc, where most of my labs are actually in a building, not on campus.
Okay.
So I don't have to be as, I don't have to follow all of the things that the university requires, because I'm not really on campus as much as I could be. I still feel like there's some positive things. I mean, you must have something positive to take out of this, right?
Well, I don't view the things that people consider negatives all that bad. Like I already am in 21st grade, I'm so happy I can like wake up 5 minutes before my class and not turn on my camera. Nobody expects me to like turn on my camera or my mic. I'm not in class. I'm just showing up to meetings and I can do it from bed. I'm very focused and getting, finished. It's a really good time for me to be quarantined and just focus on finishing and getting the heck out of school, because I've been here way too long. So I guess I haven't been too bummed out about all of that. I do miss people, but for the most part, it's like the Groundhog Day work, so we're just chipping away at my school goals. How about you? What are your positive takeaways from back to school during COVID?
Well, I mean, I'm kind of lucky in the sense that I didn't have to like immediately jump in and teach with all of this going on. And it's been 6 months now of people troubleshooting and figuring it out and coming up with like best practices. And I start my new job as a professor in January, and it's super exciting. And I'm just so thankful that everybody else has already figured out how to do the virtual and online learning. Like there's so many resources and people being like, do this, this is the best way, remember that, that I feel like it's just going to be such a better transition for me having to teach online in the spring. I can just go to all these other people who have the experience, and I didn't have to like go through the craziness when it first happened. So I actually think that like that's a really good positive for me personally, and for like education in general. I've seen a lot more people have now like been able to join classes or discussions that they've never have been able to. And so that's like a pretty big positive in my mind, for sure.
Yeah, I feel that's really exciting just to see like this new, like almost forced change in education with, online resources and almost like free access to a lot of like meetings and workshops and recorded things that you can just watch during your free time. I think all of that it's definitely really exciting.
Hopefully this is like a great way for people to be optimistic and think about their own back to school experiences. And hopefully anybody watching this feels free to share all of their experiences. We'd love to have you drop us a comment or create a comic like the ones we have here, or post something and tag us in it. We'd love to highlight how you are dealing with the back to school here at the
let us know. Is back to school a good thing for you, a bad thing for you? Is it different?
Yeah, exactly. Awesome.
All right.
Well, I'll see you later, Jess.
All right, see ya.